I had so much anxiety, I couldn't eat. I was throwing up all the time. I still can't sleep. I still have post-traumatic stress disorder. If someone walks up behind me when I'm working, I'll jump out of my chair. I mean, and we're talking 30 plus years later. I'm Steve Kelly. I'm a lawyer in Baltimore. I'm a survivor. My sister was murdered when I was young, and I now devote my practice 100% to representing victims of crime in civil and criminal cases. I was born into a very traditional Irish Catholic family of farmers, one of 6 boys, one of 9 kids. Mary was kind of in the middle. She was 14 years older than me. My dad died of cancer when I was 9. He got sick with cancer when I was about 5 years old. And Mary really raised me. My mom worked. She had to work. And she was at the hospital every minute that she wasn't working. So Mary was definitely the mother figure. She was a nurturer. She cared about everybody and everything in the family. She was just a really giving person. I was in the 8th grade. It was just after Easter. I remember it was a nice day, and people were just starting to cut their grass and, the new grass smell and all that. You're looking forward to spring, because I always did. I walked down from the bus stop and saw all these cars parked, my siblings' cars parked all around in the driveway, which was alarming, and a police car. And I went in the house, and we had a big living room, because 9 kids, and people were just sitting, all around. And my mom was sitting, I think she was on the phone, she was crying. And then they said, "We can't find Mary, she's missing." We reported it to the police. The police did the standard thing, which is, give it a day or two, she probably is out partying or something like that, which we knew was not true. I mean, she had 2 little girls, and Mary would never leave her girls all night. So we were alarmed and looking for her before the police would actually really start to investigate. We went everywhere that she liked to go, contacted every friend of a friend, and just looked everywhere that we could for her. And 2 days later, we pulled into the farm store just to get a drink or whatever, and we saw her car, which was parked, on the edge of the parking lot. I didn't go up because my siblings wouldn't let me, but they saw the blood on the car, and they called the police, and the police came and took the car, and that was the start of the whole thing. From the time she disappeared in April, she was found in September, so 6 months that she was missing. I was a freshman in high school at that point. I went in, my mother was sobbing hysterically. The police were there to confirm that my sister was found, and that, through dental records, they confirmed that it was her. And that basically, she had been raped and murdered. Just to know, that she was raped in the backseat of her car, which we were also told, and, and murdered in such a violent way, it was devastating. It was a gut punch. And, so the detective was very much, just a facts man, old-fashioned jerk of a detective. He, took out a small manila envelope and dumped it onto the coffee table. And it was Mary's rings that were encased with skin, and a necklace, the world's greatest mom, that her older daughter Kelly had given her. The lessons I've learned, through many years of practice, is that the color of justice is green. People who have means, who commit crimes, have a much greater chance of getting off or getting no sentence. I feel that that's what happened in my sister's case. The prosecutor was more afraid of the defense attorney and the defendant's father, who was the president of the local country club, the president of the Rotary. He was more afraid of him than he was us, a family of poor farmers who didn't know any better. And, And as a result, the guy who, raped and murdered my sister went free and was never prosecuted. And he's free to this day. It's very, very hard to take, but my life is dedicated to helping people overcome those kinds of prejudices and making sure that justice, is more even-handed. I built a successful practice 100% focused on representing crime victims in a holistic way, from the beginning of a criminal case all the way through a civil verdict. Most people cannot afford to hire a lawyer. And so, as lawyers who do what we do, pro bono work, we can do so much good for them. We can really take their case from off the assembly line of justice and bring it into focus. If there's anything that I've done, it's been connecting those two worlds, the need that victims have with the brilliance of lawyers who it wouldn't normally be on their radar, but G&E allows me to bring those resources to bear, and it moves the needle. My job as a lawyer is to do things that are 100% consistent with healing and moving forward, and not ever to put a survivor in a situation where, I'm going to make their situation worse. I strongly encourage and require, actually, that they are in some kind of treatment to really focus on what heals them. And then we get compensation to pay for it for the rest of their lives, because they're going to need it for the rest of their lives. Mary would say to me, do justice, but focus on healing and helping and not getting distracted by the fights. We all have the Irish temper. She didn't have the Irish temper, and she had no tolerance for the Irish temper. And so I think she'd be proud of me that I'm fighting for people who are disadvantaged. But at the same time, she would tell me that your focus needs to be on healing myself and helping others heal.